All right, a very good evening. It's on Tuesday evening. We're linking up again on this another episode, another engaging discussion here at Mofo TV. I believe like your day has been good. Of course, it is a work day, and people are out there to engage their minds and making sure they're getting the productivity. Maze unaenda job and whatever you're doing, big up Maze, because that is how we can build the nation, and that is how we can maximize on collecting the taxes that government needs in order to build a very stable government, a government serikali ambayo tunaweza jitegemea. I welcome you again to this channel. This is Mofo TV, and this is another good episode, The Digital Eye. Here we are going to give you all the trending stories that have been having a headline, that have been headliners on our social platforms. We are going to give you all the stories that has been trending. Remember, it is in Kenya that we don't miss something trending on online or on all online platforms. Kitu inafanyika physical, within a minute, a person who is not there has already been informed what is happening, and it's a threat. So I welcome you again. Come up and want to join. Give us that subscription. Press that subscription button. And if you are new here after subscribing, welcome your friend Maze. Let us join hands, and we let us build from a known place to a known place. Of course, you don't know tomorrow. So I take this opportunity to welcome you, share, welcome your friends. Let us have a very engaging discussion this evening before we go to Barcelona versus Inter Milan, the second leg that is going to have a very huge expectation, because what one expect, like Barcelona will do as good as they can so that they can move forward. So kama hauja join pale live jamaa, kama umejoin, let us know where you're watching. Kama we ni mgeni, subscribe, give me a comment. Tell me what do you expect us maybe to share this evening. Ni nini ambao labda unataka tuongelee zaidi. And on to our discussion this evening. Number one, of course, the most trending online yenye imekuwa iki happen sana ni the story about the shoe, of course, Kiatu, Kivue, uliza Kiatu, and other stories that has been trending. So we are going to have a flash in the Ruto shoe game. They call it Shuka. So Kenyans are very creative, and they have termed it as Ruto Shuka. And number two, it is not only Ruto that has received a shoe. The former President of United States of America, that is, you'll get to know him. He also received a shoe, of course. So Ruto si wa kwanza. And then, of course, Mudavadi has fled from the country to United States of America for a special invite meeting. Yeah, so we'll get to know much about it. And of course, Matiang'i's rally in Nyanza over the weekend. That was on Thursday last week. Fred Okengo Matiang'i, former interior minister, brought a standstill in Nyanza region, akaleta a very big crowd. We are going to have a flash in that one and its effect. And then, of course, we are going to have a flash in the 2025 finance bill. Have you read about it? And of course, Charles Ongondo Were will be buried this Friday, as confirmed by the committee that is organizing. Of course, we're going to have a flash into that. And then the IEBC chairperson, the selection panel is already set, and the competitors are also there. I'm going to tell you who are competing, and who's likely, maybe you'll tell me in the comment section, who's likely to be the next IBC chairperson. And of course, Prince Inda, now to the entertainment section. We heard Prince Inda aliachia kibao into a dicol, ama sijui in your language, how do you term it? Dicol. Yes, a dicol. So of course, aliachia wimbo, and I believe it's trending good. It's doing good. Mangalia YouTube is trending at number 3. And of course, Willie Paul, mukini support nitafika pale juu. aliashia pia wimbo featuring Inos B, and it's also doing good, of course, almost heading to 1 million views. And we're not going just to stop there. We're going also to have a flash on our Tanzanian borders, on our counterpart, that is Tanzania. One and only Kijana Makonde Mwite Harmonize and Kajala was popping. We'll get to know. And of course, we're also going to see, maybe to have a flash over the weekend in Kenya. We also experienced to have a Champions League trophy. Ilikuwa hapa Kenya, hapa Nairobi. And we also had an opportunity maybe for verified people like president to have a touch on it. And to the next story, of course, it's a sad day to the AFC Leopard supporters because their Secretary General has passed away. We'll get to know much about it. And the last one of the day before we head to Barcelona versus Inter Milan, it is the Mashemeji Derby. Mashemeji Derby will be played this weekend at Kasarani International Stadium. Stay tuned. Kama uja share mazee, like share, karibisha wendako. Tell them we are here and we are doing it. We are here and we want to do a very engaging show. Of course, like I also want to get your views. I also want to know what you're thinking about various issues, the headlines that I've given you. Invite your friends. Kama hauja subscribe so that we move forward as a family. So tell me in the comment section so that give me a comment, like let me give you a shout out and know the world knows that you are here, so that the world can know that you are here and you are watching with us. So usiogope kuangalia ama labda kuandika comment, manake nitaisoma, siwachi hata moja. Sorry for joining a bit late because mitambo lazima kila siku shughulikiwe ndiposa unapata picha nadhifu. Courtesy of one and only director Dalmas Aboge, ama ukipenda muite Aboge, ana majina mengi. And then nyuma kamera kijana moja Collins Otieno is also making sure that you getting me live. In the comment section naona, kabla tujaenda kwa the first story, naona Edwin kijana anasema watching in Nairobi. Bro vipi, hope umenijua bro, SCA Edu. Siwezi kosa kukujua kijana yetu Edu. Edu, your best friend from ICS Technical College, Nairobi. Thank you very much. Wherever you're watching, keep sharing. Welcome your friends so that we can team up together as one team. And now to the first story, of course. Tusiharibu masaa sana. Over the weekend, while he was on his tour, the President of Republic of Kenya, that is William Samoei Ruto, alikuwa ameenda ile maombi ya pamoja, like unaona dini fulani ambayo labda ni Protestant zinaenda pamoja, and then they go to worship together when the president is visiting a certain area. So as usual, on normal duties, he has been going around the country, and this time it was a time for Migori County. So he went, and then after this, of course, lazima prezo haizi wacha vijana wake hivyo. He got a little moment maybe to say hi to his boys, and then whatever happened. So akalaunch miradi kadhaa, and now during his conversation, and as he was promising the soft life and whatever the government was planning to do for the youth in Migori and the Migori residents, of course, an incident that last happened in 2008 happened again. This is Kenya, where this incident got to happen again. A youth was holding Kiatu juu, like Kiatu alikuwa amehold juu. As you can see, Director Dalmas is making it happen. Alikuwa amehold Kiatu juu. And then like a next person who was standing behind him happened to hit it, and then it went towards the president's direction. So ukiangalia vizuri, it brought an uproar because you see, like mwenye alikuwa ameinua Kiatu hakukuwa na any intention. But now the person who hit the shoe, I don't know if he or she had an intention so that iende gonge prezo. Yeah, that is venye unaweza ona kwa screen yako, like the president was talking and then this person is holding the shoe. And then Saila ameinua Kiatu yake, as other people are also filming on their cameras, on their telephones or their phones, of course, yeye hakukuwa na simu. So while he was holding this shoe, the next person who was standing behind him happened to hit it. And then it went towards president's direction. To show how he's humble, the president of Kenya did not react immediately, but he forced his way to finish the statement he was talking about. That is how Kenya is blessed. Having a president who is not Like ingekuwa labda tuseme ni Museveni, for example tuseme ni Museveni wa Uganda, this could have brought a lot of maybe stampede. But the president of Kenya, we echo his humbleness. Aliyemaliza whatever he was talking about, and then aka make sure like this is not maybe bringing a lot of attention. Yes, the government has been doing all the inspections, and then tomorrow, today on Tuesday, charges have been dropped against the 3 people who were wenye walikuwa wameshikwa. I don't know if it's something to be happy about, but all the charges were dropped against wale watu ambao walikuwa wameshikwa in line with the same. So I don't know if that is good, or I don't know if it is bad. But for the let us look at the incident. Like in a crowd like this, unaona huyu kijana amevaa kofia ya wida, like boys alikuwa njaa. I don't know how Kenyans felt about this, and I don't know how are we fed up with our president to an extent like we can have these kind of games. So it is not something that looks well, of course, in the public domain. But I don't know how are Kenyans fed. I don't know if it was intentional. You can tell me in the comment section. Or I don't know if it was by a mistake. Itumbi speaking, alisema like he has analyzed. Itumbi ni msemaji wa Ikulu. Alisema like he has analyzed the video, and then he was looking through. The person who was holding the shoe did not have an intention to throw it to the president. Immediate statement that was given out by the women rep, alisema like vijana wanapenda rais, and then alikuwa tuna intention like anataka kusalimia rais. So she warned the media, and then akasema like, let media not write their things, let them abide to whatever happened and write the correct things. The media went ahead to say like, yo, Ruto shoe game, and a lot of memes have since been surpassing the social media, and people have been watching, wakiangalia how maybe it has been affecting either side or the both side of the discussion. So we don't know if the youth were fed by the president's briefings or promises, or we don't know if it was an intention. Tell me in the comment section from the video that my director Dalmas Aboge Dalmas has played to you on your screens. Tell me if you can analyze it. Is it intentional, or is it just by a mistake? Various government authorities have spoken in line with the same. Wengine wamekashifu. It was like the security officers walikuwa wanafanya hiyo manhunt kuona like what happened, who did that, and we don't know the government kama walipata mtu mwenyewe ama, because as of today the charges against the people who are involved in such incident, the charges have been dropped. Tell me in the comment section if it was an intentional thing, or it was just a by mistake. And as I told you, it is not the president of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, who is receiving this maybe shoe game for the first time. It has happened in the history that various leaders have received this shoe from the crowd they were addressing. And now, the president, the former president, and the famous president of United States, that is George Washington Bush. Watu wanamjua sana, and I believe many people, many words have been named after him, because I think in the history, leave alone Obama for the Gen Zs, because they relate much with him because he's a Kenyan. I believe George Bush was one of the best, and I believe people really embraced him. So in one incident, while he was having a joint press conference, George Bush, the former president of the United States, he happened to also receive a shoe. Alipigwa kiatu tena yeye na yule mwanahabari kutoka Iraq. And now to this incident, it was a double shoe. Like he had to dodge the first one, and also he had to dodge the second one, which fell behind him, ikapiga bendera ya US. Can you imagine this? Like, do we say like this incident that happened in Kenya, this person mwenye alipiga, wacha mwenye alinua kiatu, mwenye alipiga hicho kiatu, did he learn from these journalists from Iraq? Can we allude to that as the final maybe like the final comment, or maybe the final statement, like the person who did this was maybe like alikuwa inspired by this Iraq journalist who did this to former United States President, that is George Washington Bush. Tell me in the comment section, what do you think about the youth who held the shoe up, and if at all kama ilikuwa game plan, because you know Kenyans are very creative and Kenyans are very maybe like diverse. We are very diverse.
The agreement lays out a framework for the withdrawal of America.
Video, you look at it, utapata like the president was addressing the journalist, and then while addressing the journalist, I think he just summed up his statement and then greeting his counterpart, Mundake wa Iraq, and then a journalist, while they were expecting questions from the journalist, he took both shoe, of course, alitoa viatu zake zote, you know, and then he threw towards George Washington Bush, as you can see that. So this one, it was intentional, but for our president, we don't know. I've asked you, tell me in the comment section, what do you think was the intention of this journalist who of this Migori youth who hit the shoe that was being held up? And then ukilinganisha na hii George Bush, tell me if it was intentional or if it wasn't intentional. Yeah, I am waiting to see your feedback. Anaitwa nani, wacha ni ingie hapa live, compare the two incident zenye director anakupigia hapo kwa screen, alafu uniambie kama unaona zinafanana. King Praise Mfalme anasema Mfalme is tuned in from Loresho. Your content is on another level. Good job, bro. Thank you very much, King Praise Mfalme. Keep inviting your friends, keep subscribing, because here it is where we say like Mofo TV is your passport to adventure. Karibisha mwendako, let us join. I am standing in on behalf of one and only Pablito Jesse Julius, who is the captain on behalf of the digital eye on Mofo TV. Without wasting much time on that, compare and contrast those statements, and then let us now go to our second issue. The second issue of discussion this evening goes all the way to a very maybe short discussion, that is the cabinet secretary for waziri wa masuala ya nje, foreign affairs, that is Musalia Mudavadi, and also who holds the office of the prime cabinet secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, has this evening fled to US. He has fled to US to go and attend a very special invite from the United States. So we don't know what much is in this, because we are yet to get the statement from the office of the prime cabinet secretary, but we are waiting to see if at all itakuwa like a very engaging communication, because since he took over, that is President Donald James Trump, amekuwa a bit harsh in how he gives out his maybe rulings, his public stance. Of course, the other day he was criticized of maybe posting an AI generated picture of him in a pop's wear, sitting somewhere and doing his hand this way, because Pop alikuwa anafanya hivi. So Mudavadi has left the country and then he's headed to United States of America. It is a special meeting that it is an invite. Of course, it's said to be an invite from the White House, and we're waiting to see the official statement from the office of prime cabinet secretary, and also the official statement come from the that will come from the office of the cabinet secretary for interior, who is the same. Najua unashangaa anaongea nini, lakini what I'm saying is this is a minister, a cabinet secretary in this republic. This is a person, of course, a politician who holds two offices in the Republic of Kenya. He is holding two offices in the Republic of Kenya. That is Musalia Mudavadi. So I'm in the US. He's going to maybe negotiate. He's not going for a personal trip, but he's going to negotiate whatever he's going to negotiate on behalf of the country. We hope it's going to be a productive, because the other day we saw a section of people, around 2,000 people, who got a clear way to get their visa or green card, of course, to the United States. As other states maybe having those deportation, we have not seen it from the Republic of Kenya, and we believe like the Kenyans' good chemistry with the United States will always continue, so that we can enjoy the good international relationship that we do enjoy with our elder brothers. Those are United States of America. And then next to the next and the most trending issue, of course, It is the issue of the politics again, so we're still there. And to this matter now, we are going to see one former Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is the former Interior Cabinet Secretary in the Uhuru's government, Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Matiang'i alirudi Kenya baze after kupiga job huko majuu, maybe United Nations work. He has been doing it since 2022, since he flew out of the country after the former presidential aspirant, that is His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, lost his position, and he flew outside the country, and then he went to work. Of course, who doesn't maybe want to work and then get some payment? So alienda, and he has been outside the country since then, but recently he came. He was received at the airport at the JKIA with a lot of maybe like respected authorities, respected public figures in the republic, politicians, of course. We saw Eugene Wamalwa, we saw Kalonzo Musyoka, and we also saw a very maybe dignified like dignitaries, of course, wakienda kumkaribisha. Then he went to rest for a week. Saila alirudi, we saw a very huge reception in Nyanza. In Nyanza, yes, I'm not talking about Nyanza just a little like maybe Pande Wajaluo, but Nyanza comprises of the whole of Kisii and Nyamira. So as you can see, that is the crowd that Fred Okengo Matiang'i managed to pull on his maybe saying hello to his people of Gusiland. And then alikuwa like anawasalimia kiombeni aje, amesikia whatever they are calling for, and he had heard the call. It is now time, like the Gusii nation let him, so that he can come out and fight for his people, or maybe for the country, and liberate the country from the captivity that he feels, captivity quote unquote, that he feels it has been taken into. So he came back, and then what maybe brought attention is the kind of maybe mass that really pulled out. I was reading through the comment section of maybe different platforms on online, and then I met a comment like teachers in Nyanza or teachers in Kisii and Nyamira have not attended their school, their classes, because they turned up to see what Matiang'i, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, was saying. So I believe like this man is on a mission. Of course, he has heard the callings from Kenya, and he has decided like, yo, mumeniita sana na nimerudi. So Matiang'i made it public like he's going to seek friends from Western Nyanza, maybe the Luo side, and Mount Kenya, Coastal region, Northeastern, to make sure that they are going to form a formidable team, a team that will be able to compete when it comes to 2027 general election. So that is what Matiang'i was telling his people, and then he asked for permission from them so that he can go ahead and look for friends that will pull together and make sure that they are going to liberate the country from the captivity, quote unquote, that they feel the country is taken, or rather the country is under. So over the weekend, of course, tulimwona pia akiingia pale kwa Mnyoro, of course pale Mount Kenya. Alikuwa ameenda pande ya Nyeri, sijui kwa Mnyoro ni wapi. Tell me in the comment section, where is kwa Mnyoro? Iko Nairobi ama iko Nyeri ama iko Kiambu jamani? Sina habari kamili, lakini you just saw the other day maybe like writings I love wa Mnyoro. So kila mtu anaenda kwa Mnyoro. Of course it is for the sake of opposition purposes, and they are joining team right now. We over the weekend, that is on Sunday, we had prayers at Mnyoro, and then we happened to see maybe various leaders from the Republic of Kenya, all the communities represented. Speaking of Western, were represented by Eugene Wamalwa, and of course Cleophas Malala, of course. And we also saw from maybe Ukambani, that is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Martha Karua, of course, also pulled up. Kamanda, of course, pia tulimuona. And then from Gusiland, we saw Fred Okengo Matiang'i. We've seen like Richard Onyonka, the senator for Kisii County. Tumeona wakikuja pamoja, and we believe like whatever they are planning for the good of the country, and not maybe just to oust the current president and maybe feel like they are home. Because in this Kenya, in this country we are living, politics, I think, is the communication, is the talk of the day. Each and every time politics zinafanyika, you find like people give it a lot of attention more than anything. So yeah, so tumeona like over the weekend Matiang'i alienda kuungana, I think as he had asked his maybe people from the Gusiland to give him maybe a leeway or authority to go and seek friends. I believe he's seeking friends, and that he will join hands with the best friends he sees like New best, and then they will be able to komboa nchi, as they can say. So yeah, that is it from Fred Okengo Matiang'i. To the next story, to the next story. But as you go to the next story, continue sharing, welcome your friends, like share in different WhatsApp groups, share, like karibisha mabishte zako, let them know that we are here and we are driving this digital eye on behalf of one and only Jesse Julius, who is always the captain of this big show on Mofo TV. Karibisha mabishte zako, let them know like we are here and we are doing this for the sake of the goodness that we're willing for you, because you bet on us, we bet ourselves for your sake. To the next story, kabla hatujaribu muda sana, kwa sababu muda hauko ama hatukai sana, vijana wanakuambia. To the next story, we going to the story of Charles Ong'ondo Were. Charles Ong'ondo Were is the amekuwa MP wa Kasipul, amekuwa member of parliament from Kasipul, Kabondo in Homa Bay, of course. So he happened to be shot last week around city mortuary, of course, and then kumekuwa na investigations, different leaders, talk of Homa Bay governor, that is Gladys Wanga, talk of Homa Bay town member of parliament, that is Peter Kaluma. They have been calling for investigations so that we find and we Kenyans get to know who killed the former member of parliament for Kasipul. And of course the president, while attending the of course that may be the coming together, that coming together, hiyo yenye unafikiria hiyo, while coming together kwa shirika wa madini mbalimbali, he happened also to call for thorough investigation, and those people who happened to bring down, or rather maybe take the life of the our beloved maybe member of parliament, be maybe brought to the courts of law, and then let them be charged, of course. So the president was adding there need to be spearheading, the security forces need to spearhead this for the sake of the country, so that Kenyans can get to know. Because I told you last week that he's not the first person to be assassinated while in office. Ong'ondo maybe is the current one, but we've had different maybe leaders, talk of Tom Mboya, talk of maybe different former politicians who were assassinated while still in office. So Ong'ondo, the latest news we have for you this Tuesday evening is that he will be buried this Friday at his sub-county in Homa Bay, at his sub-county in Kasipul, Kabondo. So yeah, post-mortem were done, and then it was brought to the report that Kasipul member of parliament was shot 5 times. So post-mortem ikafanywa, those those maybe who are suspect or also maybe held accountable. Of course, so far we have seen 5 people pictured on our social platform, on different social platforms, and from maybe the reliable government sources wakiwa wako wamepigwa picha, and then it's like maybe they'll be brought, au watapigwa msasa vile ambavyo inahitajika, and then tutajua ni nani haswa alimaliza mbunge wa Kasipul, that is Charles Ong'ondo Were. He will be buried on Friday, and we continue saying rest in peace Charles Were. Kasipul loved you, but God loved you very much. So yeah, that is it for Kasipul member of parliament, and the latest update for the Kasipul member of parliament, that is Charles Ong'ondo Were. And now to the next topic of discussion, we are having the IEBC chairperson. Of course, after the 6 years Wafula Chebukati was in office, they came to an end, and then he left the office, of course. Unfortunately, he had some sickness, and then right now he is he's not with us, of course. Aliaga earlier on during the year, and then he was buried at his home county in Kitale in Trans Nzoia. there is a need, and then there have been ongoing maybe conversation to replace this gentleman who has served the country during the previous 2 elections. So Chebukati representative include the following people, and number 1 we are having Ann Amadi. Of course, amekuwa mbele ya panel I think 2 times. I think she is a woman, and a woman with history in the Republic of Kenya. She has been on the panel as the potential maybe a representative of the IEBC chairperson. Next one, we have Charles Nyachai, the son to Simeon Nyachai from the Gusii land. He has also been a man who has served the country in different capacities. Next one we've had the shortlisted now, wale wenye wako shortlisted kuendelea mbele. We've been having Saul Simiyu Wasilwa, is a gentleman who has served the country in different capacity. Of course, Edward Katama Ngeyua is also on the shortlist of the next possible person to take over the IEBC chairperson. We also have Lilian Wanjiku Manegene, of course. She's also a she's also a woman who has served the country in different capacities. Joy Mdivo, and then we're having Robert Akumu Asembo, and then we have Jacob Ngwele. Next one we have Francis Kakai Kissinger, and then we also have Erastus Edung Ethekon. Alafu, the last one shortlisted is Abdul Kadir Lorot Ramadan. So those are the people who are shortlisted. Maybe watakuwa wanapigwa msasa. They'll be going through the panelists to see the level of expression and the capacity they have to serve as the next IEBC chairperson. We believe, but like the process will go through, and by the time election is nearing, we'll have a very organized IEBC commission, so that we can move forward as a country and have a peaceful election. So going forward, all the best to the person who will be elected, or will continue updating you who will be taking that position that was left or was held initially by Wafula Chebukati, ambaye sasa hivi ni marehemu. The next discussion is now centered around Prince Indah. It is high time now. That is what has been happening in the political world. Of course, maybe the political scene is always hot and burning in this country. We know, like, we can't do well without politics in this country. So of course, that is what has been popping in the political arena, in the political scene. And now we are shifting the gears under the digital eye. I've told you I'm driving this show this evening, or I'm taking the mantle this evening on behalf of one Pablito Jesse Julius, aka Kijana Bila Mazua, who didn't manage to be with us this evening, but he's somewhere on official duties from Mofo TV, and then he will be with us in the next episode. So kama una watch, of course, I want to see your comments. Tell me where you're watching from, and tell me what do you feel about the issues we've put in public, or rather maybe the issues that you may discuss this evening. Welcome your friends, tell them like we are here and we are making it big on the digital eye. If you're watching, I'm repeating again and again, leave me a comment, tell me what you feel about different discussions that we've been having in the political eye. Now we are shifting the gears to the next discussion that is now centered around around the entertainment industry, because this is digital eye, and it is where we get a flash of what is happening in the political arena. So in the political arena, of course, tumeona like wasanii of late, they have been trying to make sure that they're giving us good music, enjoying, because right now, who knew like Kiatu Kivue will be trending? Nobody. Who knew like Uliza Kiatu will be trending? Nobody, of course. So different maybe artists from the Republic, those who sing in Swahili, those who sing from their mother tongue, they have been giving us hits, and of late maybe from the Luo side, the Nyanda side, who has brought the country to attention. Hata saizi sidhani hata yule mtu ambaye anaishi na Northeastern ama labda Mturkana, labda they are all listening to Prince Indah, because they feel like he's giving kind of good genre that is so attractive. I've seen like many Kenyans have tried to embrace this kind kind of maybe a genre that Prince Indah is trying to offer, because kulingana na midundo ambayo anapiga, like you find like people are impressed, and I don't know if maybe it brings a discussion to if Kenyans or maybe the music lovers in the country miss that a good traditional music from the country, because unapata like there are good musicians who are singing their good music, good message, maybe let's say like urban tone, like those maybe miziki ya kizazi kipya, lakini people are loving this one man from the Ohangala music side, that is Prince Indah. Aliachia kibao last Friday. He left. He gave out his latest hit on Friday. It's called Dichol. Kama sijakosea, as you can see, that is the logo. Aliachia huyu mziki on Friday last weekend, and it is now it is yet to hit the first 7 days. It is yet to hit the first 7 days of since it was produced. But as of late, as right now, as we talking, nilikuwa naangalia asubuhi, the music is trending at top 4, of course, and then it has surpassed a number of 544,000 views. Remember, it is yet to take down 7 days since aliachilia hiki kibao. So tell me in the comment section, what do you think is so unique about Prince Indah? Because unapata like Kenyans have been embracing his music. Even me right now, ask me what is Rainbow. Like Kenyans are loving this, you know, like kutoka ile siku aseme like utanipa maradhi ya moyo, and I guess from there Kenyans is where they started loving this musician from Luo Nyanda. So he has been very outstanding, and this weekend, guess what, he is performing at Kamba Festival that will be happening at Uhuru Garden on Saturday. So that is the kind of love that Kenyans have decided to show Prince Indah, because like they feel there is something superior with him, something that they're not finding it from other musicians. I've not said like other musicians they are not good or they are bad, like unapata like whatever Indah is giving them, it is what Kenyans want right now. And the presence of TikTok, of course, it has been a platform where if you know how to use it, it will sell you, but if you don't know how to use it, you'll just remain there for jokes, and Kenyans will take you as jokes and jokes. So tell me in the comment section what's so special about Prince Indah music, because kutoka zile siku za I think 2018 ama 2017 huko, hiyo siku alitoanga like Maria, hiyo kibao cha Maria, and of course maybe the second last was Rainbow, and now we're having Dichol. So tell me, what do you feel is so special about this? Is it like designer anaandika music yake, ama how maybe he's singing? Because women's in the house will tell me his voice is on another level. We don't dispute that, because women's see different things in men. So tell me what's so special about Prince Indah that you as a person, or you think like Kenyans love about him. Prince Indah just released the latest music, Dichol, that is trending in top 4 in on YouTube right now in Kenya, and Kenyans have turned out to show a good support to one and only Prince Indah, who just got to do a traditional wedding, of course, juzi too, and then we saw misafara ya magari and all the maybe distinguished guests coming in to grace his event. So tell me in the comment section, what do you think is so superior about this one and only the musician from the Luo Nyanza? Tuambie ama niambie, so that I can get to know and share with Kenyans on what you think it is important in Prince Indah music. Tumeze maji kidogo jamani, manake hapa story ni moto, story zimechacha na ni moto kabisa. So yeah, that is it. And then to the next discussion, we are going to see, of course, nimekwambia like musicians have been dropping hits after hits in each, and on each Friday, of course, tumekuwa like Kenyans are just anticipating for different genre of music, and we have seen one and only the most controversial musician in Kenya. I'll term him as that one, because he's so talented, he's so maybe like on another level, running a good maybe music career. He knows how to manage the stage. Of course, the East Africa bows when his name is mentioned, and that is Willie Paul. jina lingine anamuita Radido. Of course, he also teamed up with Inos B on Friday, or like maybe previously, and then last week on Friday, he gave us a good hit by the name Bingiri. Yeah, that is Willy Paul. Aliachia kibao featuring the most famous maybe musician from the East Africa, of course. West Africa lakini in East Africa, call him Inos B. Of course, Inos B ametoa vibao vingi sana na Diamond, ametoa vibao na different maybe artists from Nigeria and the whole of the world. So here they teamed up, and then Willy Paul featured him in his latest dub called Bingiri, a song that is also doing well when it comes to YouTube, because in last 4 days it has managed to hit 1 million views. So this is it, as my director Silas Dalmas can show you. The song is doing well on social platforms, because pale YouTube it has already surpassed 1 million views in 4 days. So that is it from maybe Willy Paul. Tell me in the comment section, in the first question, what do you think is so special about Prince Indah music that Kenyans don't listen to whatever maybe word by word he means, but his maybe midundo and whatever is doing, Kenyans just flow with him. And then also tell me, what do you think like Willy Paul is trying to do, because is he trying to ape whatever Diamond has been doing in the industry, because Diamond is the most successful musician in East and Central Africa. So tell me, what do you think about Bingiri? Have you got an opportunity to listen to it? How does it taste? Is it to the standards? Did the producer do a good work, a good justice to this song, that it can maybe go on in the next 4 days again to hit more than 2 million views? Tell me in the comment section, and I will be reading it loud and clear for you. And then we move on to the next story. We are moving on to the next story, and still entertainment. Bado tuko hapo kwa entertainment, of course. We are still flashing. The digital eye is still eyeing something about the entertainment, and that is we are jumping over the borders from Kenya to Tanzania. Over the weekend, of course, kulikuwa na harusi ini moto. I know. Let me have an energizer so that I can have all that it takes to tell you this. So in East Africa, of course, musicians, famous musicians that we know, talk of Diamond, talk of Ali Kiba, talk of Rayvanny, talk of Harmonize, talk of Kina Willy Paul hapa Kenya, Bahati, talk of different, name them in the comment section. Those musicians, the famous musicians that we know. We get to wonder to why many of these famous musicians, of course, they are not overage. Like they say, life starts at 40. They are not over 40 years, of course. But many of them have not found marriage or a relationship as something they embrace much. They have not had that consistency in conducting their marriage. I am talking this in concern to one and only Harmonize. Harmonize is a famous musician in East Africa, not only just in Tanzania. And then we have loved good music from him. We have loved a music like Tuombeane Mwisho Mwema, like saying about Dunia. We have loved his latest dub called like Furaha Yangu Ni Wewe. And then he's a musician who is talented. He's a good performer. He's got vocals that maybe call for us to listen to his music. And then he's a good like ni mshairi mzuri, anajua kuandika mashairi ya Kiswahili. So tuliona over the weekend kulikuwa na harusi ya Mario. Na hii harusi ya Mario samahani, withdraw that. Kulikuwa na birthday ya mtoto wa Mario. Mario is also a good musician from Tanzania who has married Paula, a daughter to Kajala. This is it from Tanzania. Hii sasa ndo chai sasa hii. So Mario amewa Paula. Paula ni mtoto wa Kajala. Kajala ni alikuwa bibi wa P-Funk Majani. sasa hizi za Tanzania hizi. So kwa sababu ya hiyo tumeona like in the latest maybe life you are living, tuliona in the first episode Kajala walikuwa pamoja na Harmonize, and then they got to settle, things didn't work, they walked away. In the second phase they come together, they didn't things didn't work, they walked away. And in the third plea, of course, tuliona kijana Mmakonde mwite Harmonize akakuja na magari sasa, Kajala 1 and 2, you know, they like zilikuwa range of course, so like Kajala 1 and 2 tena zote ni range, something like that one. So tulipata like alikuja na hizo magari just to make sure that he is winning Kajala back. He managed to win Kajala back, and things didn't just work out for long, and then after a short while pia bado wakatembea pakando. So we have seen like Harmonize trying to settle up and down, up and down. So what happened? So something funny is and now the birthday celebration ya Mario pamoja na mkewe ambaye ni Paula. Paula ni mtoto wa Kajala. You understand? So they were welcomed, of course. Harmonize alienda kama msanii, and of course on an invite from Mario, and then pia Kajala, as you can see on a screen, Kajala pia of course as the mother to Paula was also present. So in the latest episode, Harmonize has been trying to pursue Frida Kajala, of course, ama anaitwa Frida, anaitwa like jina lake la industry ni Kajala. So amekuwa akimuomba of course like warudiane, because in many incidents ama in many interviews unapata like Harmonize anasema ni aje, he has not been able to manage himself. Unapata like even the body shape is trying to lose, maybe whatever, how maybe is having a difference, because akiwa na Kajala could prescribe which kind of food he's going to take and which one are the don'ts. But maybe without Kajala, unapata like life has been good, yes, lakini unapata like he's not that Harmonize that we know. And I will attest to this personally, because when Harmonize is having Kajala closer to him, he gives us good music, of course, you know, like a music like Ameloa and other good dubs. So unapata like kama Kajala hawako pamoja na Harmonize like anafanya kupotea, lakini he's always there because he's a great musician. So over the weekend kulikuwa na hiyo celebration ya mtoto wa Mario, and then we saw them uniting, and then we saw good pictures, they were dancing, and of course they were closer to each other. And then saile walikuwa closer to each other, that is when it came publicly, because coming from his house to that event, Harmonize just went with his daughter, and then Kajala design alikuja pale, alikuja kama mzazi wa Paula. As you can see on your screen, the producer is doing a good graphic. So ulikuwa unapata like his life is always moving. In the latest industry alifanya na one of the online medias from Tanzania, alisema like he has always been writing his music 90% thinking about Kajala, because when he thinks about her, like he tries to be composed and then gives us good music. So the latest in the store this Tuesday evening is that the two are 98% together, and then they are going again to give us another good couple. Of course, personally, I love it when I see Kajala next to Harmonize, because of course we love to see that celebrity aspect in them, because unapata like wanaenda gym pamoja, while maybe they're jogging in the morning, they're jogging together, going for a shopping, going for vacation, we see them together. And then something funny I tend to think about this is that kuna mtu ambao Mungu amekuwekea, like you will take all it takes to fight. You will lose him, he will lose you, or rather maybe you lose her, you know, or rather she will lose you, but God will always bring you back there. That is what I'm trying to meditate when I come to this, because when Harmonize is together akiwa pamoja na Kajala, you see life goes on well. Like we love to see that celebrity aspect in them, but when the musician is alone, the kind of people it tends to work with them, unapata like alisema pia madawa anatumia, like maybe pombe, of course, unapata like anakunywa sana, analala club kwa mfano saa zingine. So we are waiting to see if they'll come together again for another time. I can't count how many times, how like what time is it for this time, but I just believe like they are going to settle together. Of course, one and only maybe Chawa, he calls himself like Mwijaku from Tanzania, has also been speaking positive about this, because he tries also to give us maybe the difference when the two are together and when the musician is alone. So we are waiting, but whatever the latest from the store is the two are together, and it was a common party that united them that happened during the invite from the daughter, of course, the daughter to Kajala, that is Paula, and also the friend to rafiki ya Harmonize, ama mwimbaji muite Mario. Before we move on to the next story, let me go through my laptop to see what you are saying hapo online. Nione mazee, unabongaje, unasemaje kuhusiana na haya maswala ya mitandaoni jamani. Let me hear, what do you see? Like Harmonize, does Harmonize do good akiwa na Kajala, ama Kajala ni kuharibia kijana yetu career jamani? Online pale naona like Pablito Jesse Julius, who was supposed to be with us, of course he's on official duties from the More for TV, anasema like Ajawa is back bigger and better. You know, he's one man who doesn't understand aelewi hiyo lugha, lakini he says Ajawa is back bigger and better. I've told you he is the captain of the Digital Eye, lakini because of this and that from the Mofo TV desk, he is engaged somewhere on official duties. Shanice Liz anasema hello Shanice, let me know where you're watching us from. And then Celestine Babayaro anasema Mulwanda massive locked. I think this is most of outstanding, because Mulwanda is the place that many are locked from. It is in the part of Western Kenya. Pablito Jesse Julius anarudi anasema kwamba Prince Indah has mastered the art of performance, and as well as his lyrical writer team are just unmatched. Nasikia vizuri? That's what has made him afloat in the industry. Top content G's Runda locked. He has finally given us the location that he's working at this evening. He is watching us live from Runda, and he will be back in the next episode, and then he will give you the best of it from the Digital Eye. Remember, he is the captain, that is kijana bila mazua Pablito Jesse Julius. Big up to Celestine Babayaro from Luanda Massive. I like it when you get it clear from the other part of the country. And then Pablito Jesse Julius anasema Sele kazi safi mazee. Tag me down in the comment section, tell me where you're getting the show, andika location yako, na karibisha marafiki zako jamani. Let them know that we are here, we are going, and we are doing it bigger and better this evening. And then to our tukimalizia story maze, because I believe Barcelona and Inter Milan is underway. We move on to the Champions League trophy that was in Kenya over the weekend. Of course, the trophy was in Kenya this weekend, and it was on a continental tour. Of course, the trophy ilikuwa on a continental tour, just as World Cup normally gets to move around the world, different continent. Tulikuwa na World Cup tulikuwa na Champions League over the weekend in Kenya. Ilikuwa tarehe 2 na tarehe 3. It was brought by one and only Sebastian Schweinsteiger, a former Bayern Munich and Manchester United legend. Sebastian Schweinsteiger, who was on the front line. Of course, he brought the trophy to the Republic of Kenya for public viewing too. Mazetu woni inakaaje, director anafanya kazi mzuri. Ukiangalia hapo hivyo, huyo mweupe sasa, huyo ndio Sebastian Schweinsteiger ambaye alikipiga pale Bayern Munich, akakipiga pale Manchester United, and the one and only standing in a black cap is the Kenyan President William Samoei Ruto, who made it publicly like he is an Arsenal supporter, and he supports Arsenal, and he wishes Arsenal goes ahead to win. So the Champions League trophy has been on a continental tour. Of course, it was in Vietnam, and then ikatoka Vietnam ikakuja Indonesia. Sasa ile ilitoka Indonesia ikakuja all the way to South Africa. Ikatoka South Africa ikakuja Zambia, and then from Zambia Lusaka it came to Nairobi, and specifically State House. I don't want to say much to why it didn't stay much in the country, because there is an history about the World Cup and whatever. Those are not for us this evening. So those people got an opportunity maybe to have a touch of it, because Prezo alikuwa anataka kuinua juu, akaambiwa hapana baba, hapana, haingewezekana. So akaishika tu na akapiga nayo picha. So ukiangalia vizuri, like it is so precious, because after the likes of World Cup, these are among the precious trophies that are in the world of football. So it was on a continental tour, and the last stop was in Kenya, and from there it is now going to Germany, to where it will be waiting for the final winner in between for the remaining teams, that is Barcelona, Inter Milan semi-final playing. Of course, it's underway. I'll be giving you an update tomorrow. That is Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain, that will be played tomorrow. So moja kati ya hizo national women's team, and then pia alikuwa pale, we didn't have Benny McCarthy who is also part and parcel of the team that is in Egypt for under 20 AFCON tournament, and then tulikuwa na one and only Salim Vuria, and then tukakuwa na FK president, that is Hussein Mohammed, and then other guests pia walikuwa invited, and we believe like it is a good exposure when we find when we get to see like the world recognizes the country, and then the fans in the republic can also be recognized because of their affectionate their enthusiasm in the world of sports. To the second last story, of course, is a very sad story. It is a story that includes the FC Leopard Secretary General. Of course, we know that the team is going to have their election come July, and this July, of course, they were planning to have it is planned, of course. The election have not been postponed. We are waiting for the official day to be communicated by the respective communication agency from the team. But elections are there after Dan Shikanda has served FC Leopard as the chairperson, the chairman for the 2 terms. We are also going to get an opportunity to see the FC Leopard fraternity electing their new leader. So to the sad story, their immediate Secretary General, that is Gilbert Andugu, who was elected together with Dan Shikanda in the office for the last previous 4 years, has rested this morning, today on Tuesday, 6th of May 2025. This on screen is Gilbert Andugu, the immediate Secretary General of FC Leopard. Tumempoteza asubuhi hii ya leo, and as the FC Leopard fraternity, I've never hid this from you. I am an FC supporter. We are mourning the demise of a one and only Secretary General, Gilbert Andugu, who has been battling sickness for the longest time, or for a certain period of time. He was maybe trying to be up for the team because he loves the team. So today, fans have been out there trying to mourn, and they're trying to remember whatever good he has been acting on behalf of the team. So for the FC Leopard fans and the fraternity, tunasema kwamba rest in peace, Gilbert Andugu, whose death leaves a vacancy in the leadership of the FC Leopard. But as an FC diehard, we feel together with the family. Kwa ndugu, jamaa na marafiki, we are together in this, because this was a statesman who was here to run the club, not because of his personal interest, but because of the interest of the FC Leopard fraternity. So that is it, the sad news from the FC Leopard bench. And before I finish, let me see your stories, your comments. Of course, what do you say about different issues that we've been flashing through the digital eye this evening? Let me be up to see like what are your comments. I've told you, like a comment, give me a comment, tell me where you're listening from, like niambie una watch show ukiwa wapi, and what do you feel like before we end the show, what do we need to flash through? So I think most of the comments nimezisoma. Those who are watching, I appreciate very much. Keep sharing, welcome your friends, tell them that we are here, and then we are making it happen, because Mofo TV is your passport to adventure. So yeah, this is another episode that I've told you I'm bringing it on behalf of one and only who is in Runda for official duty, that is just Julius ukipenda kijana bila mazua, ambaye anawakilisha kwa upande wa Mofo TV maeneo ya Runda. To the last story, it is the story that will have an opportunity to chew much in this weekend with a different guest, of course. But it is the story of the Mashemeji Derby that is planned to be played this weekend at Kasarani Stadium. Mashemeji Derby itakuwa inapigwa weekend. pale Kasarani. That is the official statement. Gor Mahia inquired of the Kasarani Stadium because we believe, right, we understand right now the Nyayo Stadium is under maybe a little upgrade because of the Kipkeino Classic that will be taking that will be going down 31st of May this month, of course. So zile marafta za kando, they are being maybe replaced to make sure that it is receiving a new look, so that those athletes who will be coming from international country, maybe internationally or other foreign countries, can have their good time at the Nyayo Stadium during those the 5th edition, I guess. So iko under a little construction, or rather a little upgrade when it comes to those running tracks. So Kasarani will be used for this weekend's Mashemeji Derby. It has been approved. The Gor Mahia fraternity, the leadership led by one Ambrose Rachier, who again for another good time got into office as an elected chairperson of the Gor Mahia, inquired of the stadium, and then they were given go ahead with the government to use it. So the tickets are out, of course, for the Mashemeji Derby this weekend. Tutakuwa tunaona like for a long time, of course, for a period of 1.5 years, Kenyans have not been able to attain to get a go in at Kasarani Stadium. Lakini this weekend, we are talking about Tare 11th of May this weekend. The Mashemeji Derby, the second leg, is being played at the Kasarani International Stadium this weekend. The tickets are out and a VIP goes at 5,000. Ukitaka kukaa pale VIP, of course, hapo hivyo unaweza ona His Excellency the President kama atakuwa, unaweza ona pia former Prime Minister, that is Raila Amolo Odinga, unaweza ona various dignitaries wenye atakuwa wamekam. Of course unapeana 5,000 only. But kama wewe ni wa terraces, kama maybe those people who love mbwembwe, talk of Jesse Julius, talk of maybe my director pia Silas Saboge, wale ambao wanapenda mbwembwe kidogo, because this is a Mashemeji Derby. It is not only just Luos and Luyas, but it is a game that is recognized in East Africa. Itakuwa inapigwa hii weekend. So for VIP that is 5,000, lakini mimi na wewe ambao tunapenda mbwembwe, it is only 300 shillings. The tickets are there on tikiti.com. Unaweza ingia pale online. The day is confirmed, of course. There is no maybe misinformation. Weekend tutakuwa tunaingia pale Kasarani. So you can buy your ticket as early as now to avoid the last minute pressure. Kama bado zitaisha, because this is a 60-seater stadium. Tuliona last time, tuliona pale Nyayo, FC Leopard walikuwa na expect like watakuwa na maybe 20 ama nini, but we found like the stadium was full to its brim. So mashabiki walikuja kwa wengi sana, and then we expect like hata kama Kasani 60 ni 60-seater, Kenyans love football, and then it is in our DNA that we will throng the venue, and then we'll make sure that we're having a peaceful celebration as the two major team giants will be fighting to make sure that one of them is getting the 3 points. So it is a 97th derby, and then as I've told you in the next episode under the On Goal show in Mofo TV, on Mofo TV, of course, we'll be getting an opportunity to get the black and white about that game. So yeah, that is it from the Digital Eye this evening on Tuesday. Of course, nimekwambia like this has been a precious opportunity to run the show on behalf of one and only the captain himself, that is Jesse Julius, who is watching and with us from Runda. I've told you he is on a public or maybe on official duties from the Mofo TV team. He will be back in the next episode, and then he will be running the episode with you. Tell me in the comment section what maybe have we not touched, because as I've just told you, we are almost finishing, and then according to maybe topic of discussion, we are finishing it. I couldn't finish this without maybe reading one of the comments, of course, from Doris Mogaka, who says Meloa was just chilling. Yeah, it's a very famous dub from Harmonize, who gave us a good hit from that time while they were together with the Kajala. But we believe as they are teaming together again, they'll give us a good hit, because who doesn't love Kajala with Harmonize? Of course, it's a good couple that some of us look up to it, and then maybe in some day we will be there also trying to do our thing. So it has been a precious opportunity, of course, to run this evening show on Digital Eye on behalf of one and only Jesse Julius. I've always repeated that. I think kufika hapo, I will just be flashing my eye to see like Barcelona na Inter Milan inaendeleaje before I leave believe. But right now, things are not good as I am talking to you. Of course, Inter Milan are leading 1-0 against Barcelona. To the Barca lovers, Barcelona lovers, me included. I think a remontada will do us better. So Barcelona, 29 minutes of play, tailing 1-0 against Inter Milan, who are home at San Siro Stadium in Italy. Remember, in the first leg, it was a 3-3 draw at in Spain. So for this one, I don't know if Barcelona are going to give it away, but we believe a remontada will do us best this evening. So that is it from the Mofo TV. It has been a good opportunity for those who are watching. I appreciate, because your presence keeps me going, or rather keeps the Mofo TV fraternity going. So yeah, the latest update is 30 minutes of play. Barcelona are tailing 1-0, and then until that point, naomba tafadhali kwa heshima na taadhima niweze kukifunganya kilicho changu, niondoke pia nami nijiunge nanyi mnaotazama mpira wa Barcelona dhidi ya timu ya Inter Milan. Lakini sitaondoka kabla sijapeana labda credits kwa watu ambao wamefanikisha hiki kipindi. Of course, kwa mmoja na mtayarishaji wa makala haya, muite Silas Dalmas, ambaye ameweza kufanikisha makala haya jioni hii ya leo, kaweza kuhakikisha kwamba unapata zile picha ama video ambao labda ameweza kuchezea za Matiang'i labda na kadhalika. And then kwa upande wangu pia nimeweza kuwa na nyuma ya kamera kijana Collins Otieno, ambaye ameweza kufanikisha picha nikienda huku kushoto, nikienda kulia, anasonga na mimi. Alafu pia kwa wale ambao wameweza kuandika labda ujumbe mfupi pale, pia bado nitawapitia tu kwa haraka. Kijana Edwin kijana amekuwa pamoja nasi. Pablito Jesse Julius, mwendeshaji kipindi cha Digital Eye at Mofo TV, amekuwa nasi pia tokea maeneo ya Runda kwa shughuli rasmi za Mofo TV. Alafu King Paiza Mfalme, ambaye pia amekuwa nasi na amezidi kuwa nasi siku zote. Tukakuwa naye Shanice Liz, ambaye amesema tu hello akaondokea. Alafu Celestine Babayaro, big up man, my best friend also from the other part of Mulwanda in Kakamega. And then tukakuwa pia na Doris Mogaka, ambaye anatizama, sitataja maeneo kwa sababu labda za kiusalama, lakini wamekuwa nasi wakiweza kuhakikisha kwamba kipindi kinaendelea vizuri. Pamoja na wote ambao labda hawajaachia comment, nashukuru sana. Mwenyezi Mungu akapate kuwalinda. Kwa niaba ya Jesse Julius, mimi ni Vincent Okinda, naondoka nikikuombea kwamba, nikisema kwamba tuweze kuombeana mwisho mwema, na katika lolote ambalo tunafanya acha tutie bidii, Mwenyezi Mungu atatuneemeshea na tutakipata. Mimi ni Vincent Okinda, hadi wakati ujao siku ya kesho kwenye kipindi cha On Goal Show. Sabladia.